Hey you guys, what's up, what's good, what's your poppin'? Welcome back to another video. I don't like this intro, but it doesn't matter. Today's video, as you can already tell by the title, is gonna be a story time. Anyways, joining us for this story, I have some fried rice that my mama made and a big old thing of water. So without rapping too much, even though I already have, let's get into it, shall we? I already told this story before, actually. It was gonna be like a hair transition video, but then I was getting to the end of the story and I wasn't done my hair, so I was like, all right, let me go off camera, finish the hair, and come back and tell the story. But at that point, it was like 3 a.m., so when I finished the hair, I just went straight to bed. And then when I woke up the next day, I was busy all day, and the hair, I took it out that day, so I didn't get to finish the video. But it's okay because I found receipts that I need for the video, so now I'm gonna put it in this one. Okay. This story takes place junior, well, really senior year, but it started junior year. So okay, so if you watch my story time about how I lost the whole group of friends in like one day, I spoke about this individual, but I don't remember what I named him. So in this video, we're gonna call him Water. I don't know. We're gonna call him Water. So Water is the ex. I met Water in 9th grade. He was, the BF of one of my friends. At that point, I wasn't checking for him, nothing. But then something happened between them, and I think y'all already know the story about the commenting in the Instagram picture. Then we got closer because he was trying to confide in me, and the other girl that he was confiding in was telling his whole business to the group chat. So he confided in me, and I was like, all right, cool. Then we got closer. Boom, 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 boom. We got in a relationship. I'm not really about to rap too much about like the beginning of that because it's not important. The beginning of the relationship is also not important. It was cool, like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Anyway, so get to like a year and some change of us being in a relationship, I got depressed. But at that point, like I didn't deep that it could be depression, but I was just like, dang, like what's going on? Like, I didn't know what was going on. It was affecting my relationship with everyone, friends, family, him, myself. Like I didn't know what was good. So I was like, all right, let's take a break, because I was like, I need some time to figure out what's going on so I can be better for the relationship. That's what I told him verbatim. I think I have those. And he was like, I don't want to take a break. I was like, I need a break, blah, blah, blah. We go back and forth for a little bit. Finally, we take a break. Like, everything's cool. But we didn't really take a break. Like, we were still boo loving and whatever together every time we saw each other. So I guess we was on a break, but so one time I went to, this is the beginning of the end, right here. One time I went to dinner. I went to dinner with my friends. So it was me and like 4 of my girlfriends and like 2 guys, I don't know, whatever. We went to TGI Fridays and we were playing Truth or Dare. And one of the boys there, he had a crush on me. Like he didn't tell me, but I knew. Like he was telling all our friends and they was telling me, but I knew. But I was still messing with Water, so I wasn't. It was cool. So at this point, me and Water are on a break, and we go to TGI Fridays and we're playing Truth or Dare, and they're like, I dare you to kiss the boy that had a crush. We gonna call him Crush. I dare you to kiss Crush, and I was like, ooh. But I did. I gave him a little peck. I was just like, and everybody was like, oh no, that's not enough. That's not enough. But I was like, yeah, make it enough.
Make it enough.
So, then the rest of the night went cool. And then when I was going home, I called. It was either that night or the next day. But I told Walter what happened. He was mad, obviously. He had every right to be. He's mad. I'm apologizing. Blah, 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 blah. We're good. He's like, it's fine. Everything's good. So I'm like, okay. Everything's good. Everything is okay. Wrong. So a couple days go by, and he comes to me telling me how he went on a date or something, or he hung out with this girl that he was messing with before we started being in a relationship. And I was just like what? Like, why? If you heard that, that's my sister. But I was like, why? But I was just letting him talk for it. I was like, all right, rapping. Because in my head, I'm like, all right, cool, we're on a break. Like, technically, he can do whatever he wants. But no. So anyway, I'm just like, oh, okay, you going on dates and stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool, that's what you want to do. You can play that game, and I can play the game harder, baby. He played harder. Anyway, so I started talking to Crush, and me and Crush are like talking, whatever. Not really, we ain't really doing nothing. Like, we just be hanging out and stuff, blah blah. So we're doing this thing where we're both like talking to other people, and we'll come back and tell each other about the other people that we're talking to. Like, it was just like a toxic rubbish, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a mess. It was a mess. So then me and Crush fell out because he was just like, oh, I'm not messing with him, like, he's messing with me, blah blah blah. He was upset, so he cut me off. Rightfully deserved. I deserved it. I can't even be mad. I can't even front. I deserved it. But I'm not messing with nobody. He like, okay, I'm not messing with nobody either. So I'm like, okay, we gotta understand it. We here. No, we wasn't. We were, but we weren't here. So, that's cool. Everything's cool for like a couple days, like a couple weeks or something. And then he tells me that he's going to the African American Museum in Washington, D.C. with this other girl. And I was like, what? But I was just like, okay, because like, we are on a break and it's my fault. So I'm tight, but I don't really be trying to show that I was tight. So I was just like, okay, well, have fun. He was telling me how he was like, I don't even want to go. I don't want to go. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, don't go. He was like, no, we already paid for the tickets. I already told her I was going, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool, then go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just have fun, be safe. Don't do nothing crazy. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do or nothing you wouldn't want me doing, baby boo. He was like, yeah, cool. So at this point, it's cool. Like, he's telling me about like all these dates that he's going on and like hanging out with these girls. And I'm just like, okay, like, you can tell me, like, I'm not gonna be mad because this is my fault. You know what I'm saying? So you can tell me, so there is no reason to lie about anything. There is no reason to lie. Like, at all. Like, there was literally no reason to lie. Because, like, anyway. So, he's telling me about that stuff, blah, blah, blah. So, something happened. Well, I'm gonna spill my rice. Now, this is the real big... This is a real big issue, like, because he's been lying. Like, at this point, he was just lying. Like, I didn't trust him. Like, I was going through his social media, going through his phone, like, doing all that stuff. Which none of this happened in the beginning of the relationship because there was trust, you know what I'm saying? But at this point, he had done so many disrespectful things, like, and sometimes in my face. Like, one time we were in class, and we were in class with this really cute girl. Like, she was a baddie. I can't even lie. Like, she looked good, you know what I'm saying? But I'm your girlfriend, literally. Like, I'm your girlfriend. Like, we sit next to each other in class. Like, everybody knows we're together. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we're in class with the girl. She's sitting, like, at our table. And it's like the end of class, and he just like is blatantly just flirting with her, and she's looking at me crazy. There was 2 other girls there looking at me crazy because they're like, ain't this shit, man? And I was standing right there, like I was standing.
This is so humiliating.
Right there. And so I'm like, yo, I was mad, I was embarrassed, like I was just like, oh my god. So I just walked out the class. But that's just one incident. It's just been mad disrespectful things that like he been doing. So there was no trust at all. Like I was going through all his stuff, like I was in it. So that he be DMing girl, yo, it's just so much stuff, so much. So anyway, this is the real big incident that I was just like, whoa, but I moved past it like a dummy. So one time I was going to hang out with Toby, my friend, and my other friend. It was 4 of us going to the mall, 2 girls, 2 boys. I told him my whereabouts because we were at one of the boys' house first before we decided to go to the mall. I told him that as well. It was Crush's house. We were at Crush and I got back cool, but we only stayed friends at this point. So we went to Crush's house. I would tell him that I'm going to Crush's house, and then I told him we going to the mall. So I don't know. I think I was like waiting at my job for them to come pick me up or something. And I was FaceTiming him because like I was just sitting there. I was waiting for them. So I was FaceTiming him. He was not picking up. He wasn't responding to my text. I kept FaceTiming because I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, then he texted me. He was like, oh, I'm hooping with one of his homeboys. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Mind you, I was going to Towson Mall. He lived in Rosedale. He would be hooping in Rosedale. So if this story gets to 15 minutes, I'm gonna have to make a part 2. So not a part 2, but I'll literally drop it like the next day. Like, so that's like a 15-20 minute drive to Towson Mall from where he was supposed to be at, right? So I get to the mall. Mind you, I forget all of this. I forgot that he was supposed to be in Rosedale. I forgot that he told me that he was hooping. I forgot all of it completely. So we get to the mall. We go to the food court. And I see, because he's real tall. He was like 6'1". So, and I see him. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Toby, look, it's water. I was so excited to see him. I was like, oh my god, it's water. I'm about to go say hi. I was like, oh, he didn't even tell me he was coming to the mall. Like, what? So I go. But before I get to him, he gets to sitting down at a table. And at a table is a girl. He came to the mall with a girl. Which was stupid because I told him I was going to the mall. But he came to the mall. And he could have gone to the other mall that's closer to where he lives. But he came to the one. But he came to the one where I was going to. So, again, at this point, still forgetting that he said he was hooping. I was just mad. Mind you, this girl that he was sitting with was a girl that, like, I was not cool with, almost got in a fight. Like, he was there. He's the reason that I didn't fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and him would be talking mad trash about this girl. So I was just mad that he was at the mall with her. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, me being so dramatic, when I saw when he sat down and who he sat down with, I literally collapsed to the floor and I started cackling. Like, I collapsed. Like, when I tell you, like, I dropped to the floor and I started cackling. And I was like, Toby, look. And she was like, what? And I was like, look. And she looked too. And she was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, yeah. So at this point, I'm heated. And Toby talking about something. I'd be damned if my boyfriend came to the mall with a girl that I didn't like. I was so embarrassed when she said that because, for real, like, it's true. I was so embarrassed when she said that. Like, I was just like, like,
This is so humiliating.
So I'm heated. I walk back to the table where the boys are seated, and I get on the phone with Barodi. Barodi's my other friend. And I'm like, yo, guess what? Why is water at the mall with the girl? And she was like, you lying. I'm like, no, I'm walking. And so they got up from where they were sitting and they started walking around the mall because I guess, oh, I even missed the part when he realized that like he saw me, you feel me? So he got up from where he was sitting and he came and he was like, can I have a hug? Can you have a hug? I was like, no. Can you get away from me? Like, get away. He was like, can I have a hug? I was like, no. He was like, give me a hug. Just give me a hug. I was like, yo, are you for real? Just give you a hug. Like, can you get my face? Anyway, so fast forward, they start walking to the mall, around the mall. So I'm following them on the phone, but really I'm like, no, I'm walking behind them right now. Yo, acting a fool. Like, every time I tell the story or like every time I think about it and I remember this part, I get like, I want to turn into a lemon. It's so cringe. Like, but anyway, we followed him around the mall, and I guess they got too uncomfortable. He left, and he left her in the mall. So I text him. I'm like, oh. And then, so I go into messages to text him, and then I see the message that said he was hooping with his homeboy in Rosedale. So I'm like, oh, oh, okay. So I text him, I'm like, you're a horrible date. Why would you leave your date in the mall? And I was like, and is this the basketball court? Or is this where you're hooping or something like that? I'm like, this where you be hooping? Something like that. And he was like, I didn't leave her. She said her friends were coming. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, is this a basketball court? Like, this is where you be hooping? Like, is this Rosedale? So much necro. Is this Rosedale? Like, you're in Towson Mall. Like, so, anyway, I get home that day. I get in trouble. I get my phone taken. I'm like, wow. Not only did I catch my man out with the op and he lied to me, I get in trouble and I got my phone taken. Like, of course, who else would have happened to but me? So, water break. So every time I get my phone taken, we would talk on Twitter on my laptop. So I went on Twitter. He was already on Twitter. Oh, it's 17 minutes. Okay. We talk on Twitter. This is where I'm going to stop it and I'm going to make a part 2. I'll see y'all in part 2.